an SEO game plan for a moving company in South Carolina. This is not one you're going to want to miss. Let me go ahead and drop this in the groups and get everybody in here. If you have any SEO questions, business questions, mindset questions, anything whatsoever, go ahead and drop it below, and I will gladly answer you on any of your questions. But let me get this into some groups and get this over to, this is from a lead that came in. The guy wants me to give him a game plan. What we're going to be talking about is because this guy actually ranks in his immediate area. And you're going to be like, well, why does he need you then, William? Well, the reason why he needs me is because he's only ranking in his immediate area. And if you look at his immediate area, you're going to understand why he's ranking there is because there's no damn competition. And that's not where he wants to rank at. It's because he wants to rank in larger area. A lot of people will come in and rank in an area. Let's say it's a rural area. Very easy to rank in a rural area. The problem is you don't want to just rank in a rural area. Rural areas are easy. No one lives there. Or you have a small population. And generally, a lot of people will rank in those areas, but reality is they're, let's say, 30 minutes, an hour outside of the big city they want to actually rank in. And that tends to be the problem. So let me get this all set up, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. And if you have any questions, we're here to learn. Hopefully all of you come in here to learn. And I'm going to give you the actual sitemap, everything, game plan, all of it once we're done, George. So I will send this all over to you along with pricing, everything. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, it's a moving company in South Carolina. This is actually the moving company. So this is where they're actually located at. They're located way down here in the middle of nowhere. And we can even go, okay, let's see. What's the population? What's the population of that specific area? Is about 800 people. Okay. So there's not that many people in that area. So where you actually, number one, where you're going to want to rank at is not here. You're going to want to rank in Columbia, and everything on your website tells me this as well, that you want to moving, quote for your Columbia or South Carolina move. Okay. That you service South Carolina's region, but mainly Columbia, West Columbia, and all these other areas. Now, the problem with that, though, is where his GMB is at is 1 hour away from Columbia. Now, if we look at his current rankings, your current rankings in your area, you're in the top 2, which is amazing, but that's not amazing considering the fact the population is only about 800 people. Now, to get him to cover Columbia, you're talking, this is a 10-mile radius. You're talking just to basically cover Columbia, you need a 50-mile radius, i.e., a couple of hours worth of driving, okay, from point 1 to point here, or from this point to this point is 1 hour. From your location to Columbia alone is an hour, so let's say an hour and a half worth of driving space. It is not impossible to do with 1 GMB. I've done it before. It will be difficult because you're so far away. Now, we can do one or two things. We can go ahead and do the SEO and do it with the 1 GMB, leave the GMB where it's at, the Google listing where it's at, or possibly, which is what I would say, is open up a secondary GMB in Columbia. Now, the fact that you also want to rank in these various areas, South Carolina, Midland region including, okay? And I would take these and go, okay, just real quick, how far away are each of these areas from each other in South Carolina? Now, if they're too far away, I'm going to tell you get multiple GMBs. Most of them are not. These are all in the same area. The furthest one away is going to be Columbia and in Camden County and Newberry. I actually used to live in Jacksonville, Florida. I've been through South Carolina, North Carolina so many times, it's not funny. So we could cover all these areas in, 1 GMB basically. Major cities across the state's different, but we could cover, Lexington, Irmo, West Columbia, Casey, Camden, Newberry, all these areas that you wanted to cover with 1 GMB. We can do that and try it with just your main GMB here, or get a secondary one in Columbia. I would say start with the 1, see how far we can push into Columbia. If it gives us too much trouble, then we open up a secondary GMB in Columbia, and then we can use both of them. Now, like I said, we're ranking in that area. Media area is fine, but let's run moving company, moving services, just to see how far it would be, how much of this you actually already cover if we're to run the 50-mile radius. But like I said, in a 10-mile radius, you're already in the top 2. Now, let's go back here. So as far as content-wise, you don't have nowhere near enough content for me. Like I was doing in the other audit, I'm going to give you a site map. So when you think of, I'm a mover, or I'm a moving company, you think of, I pick shit up, I put it in a truck, and I move it somewhere. Whereas Google thinks of thousands of variations, thousands of facts, thousands of problems that people may have and why they need your assistance. And we need to cover every one of those topics. Just like if it's a hamburger, Google thinks of thousands of variations where you would think of a beef patty and 2 pieces of bread and some condiments. Google thinks of every variation, every company, every possible problem, every possible condiment, every possible combination all together. And that is what a hamburger is to them. Now, in that 50-mile radius, you're not hopeless, but let's say for a moving company, you're in the top 14. As you can see down here in the South and everywhere I already showed you, easily ranked because there's no competition. As you start going towards a big city, which is going to be Columbia, you're having a harder time. I would definitely tell you, let's try it with the 1 GMB before we try open up secondary GMB in Columbia. Now, back to your website. The prompt, and I already have this prompt, which, we'll go over it. The site map that we want to make for your company. So we want to cover every single keyword. If you don't have the prompt, comment below and I'll give it to you. But it's business type. In this case, is going to be moving company. Let me make sure you don't do storage, because this is actually a storage facility, which is debatable because I'll show you what I mean. Moving, so it's a moving company. Everything on here is a moving company. Why I say it's debatable is what's interesting when I go to your GMB listing, the picture listed here is a gym. So I don't know why you got a gym listed here at all. Or if this is, you're coming in to move the gym stuff, but the rest of it's moving stuff. But this one is a gym. The very first thing you see is a piece of gym equipment. This is, I don't know, piece of gym equipment. Maybe you're moving gym equipment. But you definitely don't want that to be the first picture people see, because they're going to automatically assume, just like I did, you're a gym company. Okay. Always consider those things. Now, go back to ChatGPT. You're a moving company. Primary service area is going to be Columbia, South Carolina. Columbia, South Carolina. Key services is going to be moving services. Please generate a detailed, in-depth sitemap structure designed to build topical authority. Topical authority meaning cover every topic possible under the sun. Organize it into pillar pages, trust and clusters. Include the following for each page, and I give you all this information. You can literally take this and not even pay me and implement it yourself if you want to. Let's go ahead and enter. And that's going to spit this out, and I'm going to give most of this to you. This is just the basics. Now, once it's done with this, let's say moving company, the different keywords right here, all these right here. All service pages, and it gives you that. So let's go back over to this real quick. And then I'm going to give you the next piece of it. The next piece of it is where I'm not just satisfied with that little bit, right? Most people would be satisfied with that. I want relevant search terms around every single service possible we could be offering. What do I mean by that? So residential moving, every term possible. Give me every relevant service around the pillar pages, the pillar core moving services. Okay, so we want pillar, all these right here, all the core moving, local, long distance, residential, commercial, apartment, all those I need every possible keyword for. Because what we want is we want to cover hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. It's not simply 20 pages here and there, and it's sporadic. We cover everything. So I cover every topic. It's not just a matter of one little thing. It's like, how much does this cost? How much does moving cost? What about move? And I've done this for another moving company. Another thing we can do, we'll talk about later, is I literally, depending on if you do interstate moving, I will actually make pages that say moving from this city to this city, 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 and make an entire network of that. And I've done this for a lot of people because I actually used to focus on moving. I used to dominate. I had a client down in South Florida in Broward County in which we dominated the entire Miami area. So now we're expanding. Okay, expanding. Okay, let's go back. So that's step 2. Now we got all of those keywords, all right? And it gave me a list of them. Sometimes, depending on the full list, they'll be huge. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it will, sometimes they'll be 300 pages. Sometimes they'll be 100 pages. Sometimes they'll be less than that. It just all depends on you. but ultimately we want it completely structured out. Build a full in this case, I want it build out a 300-page sitemap with URLs and keywords. Why? Because it's going to give me topics. So we're having location pages, service plus location combos, blogs and guides, facts and entities. These are all the pages you're going to wind up having. All the facts and entities, the local content, the problem-based, last-minute moving tips. What if it moves are too later? Problematic, all this stuff. And then I'm going to send this over to you, okay? So it gives you your service clusters, your main pillar. Main pillar being this is my services. I click on moving services, and then every service is listed out. And you got all your core services. Then you got expanding services such as hourly movers, small moves, interstate moving, etc. Pillar 2 is your location page. Okay, on your location page, we're going to have location clusters in which we list every single city and every area and every neighborhood that you want to rank in. Right? What's a neighborhood page look like? A neighborhood page is going to look like this. So we'll do a neighborhood page. Neighborhood page will be a city page, advanced city plus neighborhood, be about the services you do. Plus then down here, we'll go to the service areas, list out all the cities, connect those to their own neighborhoods and pages. The weather, top sites in the area, places go, things to do, all that. Now, we'll also do a 30-page geostack, or if you will, 30-page stack, which looks like this, and then tells you, excuse me, interesting neighborhoods and points of interest and all that. So, for example, in Columbia, where am I going to pull this information from? Is Google. And you go in here and it tells you every single neighborhood, every popular neighborhood in Columbia, South Carolina, and Columbia. And you put that on your website. Why? On those pages, because it's adding geotropical relevance to your pages. So they know that you're the number one fucking mover in Columbia in that area. Okay. So I'm going to put this in an entire map for you. You can implement this yourself or not, or pay me. Either way, it doesn't matter. What you want to create, and think of your website like this. Your website is not just a website. It is a ranking system. It is a lead generation machine. It is a 24-hour salesman. Okay. It is not something there just to quote unquote, have a website, which is what most people think. I'll just have a website and I want to rank it. No, it's a 24-hour salesman and you want to dominate. So I'm going to send this over to you real quick while I'm doing it. Here you go, George. That's the sitemap. Now, outside of that, we want to make sure the page speed is set up right, content set up right, the one page, everything else. Now, what we always do, and I'll go over this because I usually go over it, but so for instance, we want to make sure our phone numbers click to call. This actually goes to a form. This is actually an HTML website, not a WordPress website, which is fine. I typically do WordPress. Click the email, click the phone, service areas. Good thing about HTML websites, they're fast and they're more secure. All right, let's see. So on your services, like this ain't enough information about the services. Your main thing, if I look at your website, is going to be the fact that you are content thin, topical thin, relevant thin. Meaning Google's never going to look at you as the number one moving company in that area. And I can take any of these people and say, okay, well, who's the number one person in Columbia, which is where you want to be at, right? You want to be in Colombia, and you're obviously not. Who's the number one guy in Colombia? There's nobody in that area that's totally dominating in the 3-pack. So you got the moving squad, undergrads moving, Gamecock moving, race movers. But what I'm looking for is if I click on, let's say, your area down here, no one's dominating, you dominate that area. That's why I said when I click on any of these, I can see who dominates. No one's dominating Colombia. So it's very possible for me to take over Colombia for you. 2 Men in a Truck is the main one, and College Hunks. Those two are the two that are the closest, but they're franchises. They build their websites like franchises, which we do as well, by building on multiple locations, multiple location pages, and neighborhoods as well. Now, as far as besides your on-page SEO and your content and everything else that I would obviously tell you, say, hey, your content sucks. You need to get your content together. That's obvious. Most people, they just don't, they don't concentrate really on the content aspect of it. And then we're also going to look at your socials. So if I look and say, okay, do you got your socials on here? No socials. And then that would be obvious if I go over here to here as well on your GMB. See, first image is a gym. You want to get rid of that. Are we responding to our reviews? Yes, you're responding to reviews. You only have Instagram and Facebook. Now, are you posting on Instagram and Facebook? And I can see that here. You got Instagram and Facebook. Let's click on them. So are you posting on a regular basis? No, you're not. Not by a long shot. You need to be posting on this on a daily basis, posting videos on a daily basis, shorts and reels. We want to build a brand. The only way to build a brand that Google says, hey, these are the number one guys in this area, is I need to be recording every job I go to, every moving job I go to. Post reels about it on all your socials. That doesn't mean just Facebook and Instagram. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, as much as possible. So when I go look up your business name, I see nothing but your videos here. I see none. None. If I go under videos, let's go under short form. Do you have none? Nothing. Okay. Short videos, nothing. Long form, nothing. Forums, nothing. So you don't have a brand. And once we build out your brand, you will dominate Colombia. You'll dominate, and that's what we want to have happen. Now, why do we do this? So when I first take on a client, these are some of the things I look for, and this is why. Now, when I come over here, so for example, one of the few things I'm looking for is, okay, do you have voice profiles, i.e. podcasts? We set up podcast profiles on, let's say, Beansprout, Podcast, all of them. Then also video search. Do you got a YouTube channel? No. Do you got TikTok? No. Do you got any other video channels? No. YouTube's the second largest search engine. It's owned by Google. Why are you not posting there? Do you got your foundational on-page SEO done, like your content? No, you don't. Do you have your foundational social profiles? Nope. You have Facebook and Instagram, and that's it. The only reason you got Instagram is because Instagram's owned by Facebook, and they automatically create it. Now, outside of that, when we are making a blog, we turn that blog into a YouTube video, into a podcast, into a video. Besides the video and the podcast, we turn it into a press release. We daisy chain them all together, tie them all together, connect them all together, put the video on the website, the podcast, press release, all that stuff, and then dump it into what's called an advanced G-Stack, which is a Google asset tied to an AWS cloud page. Meaning we're using Google's own assets to feed it what we're actually doing to build out those entities. Why is that important? Now, I'll show you. So if you go over to our website, for example, the entities and everything we're building out, why are they important? So let's just choose one of these SEO packages. Let's say you're going to get this one. We're going to get the success blueprint. So the success blueprint, so when we're doing the entities, which is advanced GSAC, you're building out your core entities, which are tied to local SEO, Google Maps, your secondary Google Maps, your knowledge graph, machine ID. So Google ties every single entity, an entity being a keyword like mover, moving company, any of those, to a machine ID. We tie that to a Google SERP entity. We tie that to a Google site. Once again, I mentioned your social media entities: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, all of them. All of them. Supporting Web 2.0s, your Pearl Trees, your Blogger. The Google Drive core entities are going to be the primary Google Drive folder, the articles folder, MSFTs, your PDFs, your photos, your slides, and then the workspace entities, all of that listed out. So we build out all of that and daisy chain it all together to get you ranking. Now, as far as the website, I mean, the website's nice. You have a nice looking website. There's no reason why you should let your competition steal your traffic. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're stealing you're stealing your orders, you're stealing your work, and they're taking money out of your mouth and putting it in theirs. Your service area pages, this is just so content thin that even facts, I mean, you could be adding facts every single month. You could be adding, even if you say, well, William, I don't have the time to add all those pages. Well, even if you don't hire me, you literally could take that content plan I just sent you and add every single month, 4 or 5 pages every single month. Add the pages. Now, page speed, I mean, I could look at this. I can guarantee you your page speed is going to be good, mainly because it's an HTML site. Yeah, it's over 0.7 seconds. So it's amazing, great. But you have a great looking website, great looking presence. But the thing is, it's a plain website. I personally would not want to, I would wind up wanting to edit and change some things. Let's say, make it look more professional. This looks like a blue and white website. I don't know. Are you legit? I don't see any pictures of you. I don't really see that you're an actual legitimate company. I see more, I would want this to look a little bit different if it was me. Now, if you don't want to do that, leave it the same. Add on the pages, do the on-page SEO, the content, the off-page SEO, and go from there. Now, as far as backlinks, I can look at, let's say, your backlinks and go, okay, well, what type of backlinks do you currently have? If you're currently hiring someone to do backlinks or SEO for you, what's that look like? Yeah, I mean, you get no traffic whatsoever. You're only ranking for 2 keywords. You only have 26 backlinks. So you need us. You need us, or you need an SEO to start working with you. Your keywords you're only ranking for, and you're not even the top, organically. Movers, Columbia, South Carolina. Moving truck rental, Orangeburg, South Carolina. You're not getting no traffic whatsoever from it. The backlinks, let's look at them. So yeah, these are all SEO. It looks like you had someone do some SEO and it was just crap, because the external links coming from this website are over 5,000. You never want to see a lot of crap like this. It usually looks like it's a spammy type website. Anytime I see stuff like this, yeah, this is SEO domain research, SEO. This tells me someone was doing some SEO, maybe bought some backlinks on Fiverr, and they're crap. So with our backlinks, you're going to see that, you get quality backlinks from, if you will, press release websites, Google, Google assets. We don't do crap backlinks. So for example, this guy, he's been with us for, I don't know, forever, and he ranks for over 3,000 keywords. Right now, if I was to look at, backlinks are coming from press releases and they're coming from Google and assets like that, it's a natural profile, looks natural. That sort of thing, backlink movement. Whereas most of the backlinks coming from the United States, some of them from Singapore, but majority of them, 67%, are from the United States. That's the sort of thing we want to see. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach back out to me. If you would like to sign up, George, just message me back and I'll get you started. Now, the cost for my SEO, and I can send you, I have a comparison sheet so you can see it all and what you get. So let me show you that real quick. Grateful for you guys coming in and watching this. Let's look at this real quick. But so for the SEO packages, this is the starter is I ain't got no money, but I just want to get started. The foundational SEO is, once again, I really don't have the money, but I want to get started. If I suggest anything, it's going to be the SEO Success Blueprint. We start out with 50 targeted keywords. Once we get those 50 ranked in the top 3, we then rotate them out, put another 50 in, rank them, and we keep doing that over and over until you tell me to stop. We cover all of your GMB optimization. We do all of that. We do citations. We do directories, the blogs, everything I talked about as far as getting you ranked. The difference between the Success Blueprint and the Platinum Success Blueprint: Platinum covers 100 keywords. The Success Blueprint covers 50. Once again, once we get you ranked in the top 3 for those 100, we then rotate them out for another 100. Backlink wise, you're getting over 600 backlinks a month on both of those packages. The next one up is going to be the Bespoke, which is not my highest level, but almost. It is $2,200, almost $2,300 a month. The keywords are unlimited, meaning if we get 500 ranked this month or 500 ranked in the first 3 months, we do another 500 in the next, and keep going and going and going, just like Yavapi, and get 3,000. Now, the franchise system is my highest tier, and that's $36,000 a year or $3,000 a month. And that is a multi-location brand acquisition. We're doing 10 to 20 locations every single month, multiple location, GMB expansion, and we take over a territory and we give you exclusivity, meaning I will only work with one company in that entire area. So that is the cost. If you ever wanted to purchase them directly, you just go over to the website, Wolfforge Digital Agency, go under SEO packages and choose your package and purchase it. Anybody else have any questions? I do have a couple more audits. Today is our Sunday here, or in the United States, it's your Saturday. I'll be doing an audit on Monday and another one on Tuesday. I have a few more coming up. Let me check, see if anybody has any questions. Good morning, Anthony. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.